Hello everyone, welcome to Scraplift Saturday for the Crafty Maven channel with me, Helen. You might have seen the layout that I'm scraplifting this week. It's a relatively recent one by Mari Clark. It caught my eye because of the leaf die cuts that she used, and I don't know, I just really wanted to have a go at it. And this photo that I'm going to be using is one, you can see it there hiding in the corner of the video, is one from 4 years ago when I went to visit Perth in Scotland, and there were that many leaves around, and I wanted to use some leaves, some die cut leaves that I could back with pattern paper. So that's what I did. Can't say it's probably one of my most successful layouts, but I'll let you make your mind up as you watch it develop through this video. As you can see, I die cut them on my, well, maybe you couldn't see from the mat, but it was on my silhouette machine, and I used some craft cardstock, and I gave them a coat of gesso, and then I tried to colour them with some sprays, and I started off with some Lindy stamp gang sprays and then pulled out some Colour Shine from Heidi Swap. The papers that I'm using are from 2-page Evans collections, Make Your Mark and Turn the Page. And I like that green layout, but green piece of cardstock, but I also, no, pattern paper, get it right, Helen. But I also wanted to use some of it to map behind the photo, because I felt it toned in well with the leaves in the photo. You can see it's autumn time, my visit to Perth in Scotland. It was October 4 years ago, and so the leaves were falling everywhere. There were some green and some gold leaves, and that's what I've tried to recreate, kind of. Anyway, you can see I'm trimming down the pattern paper, so I've just got a tiny mat around my photo just to tie in that green, and then I'm going to do some fussy cutting. I don't know, I'm going to stick these leaves onto some pattern paper and cut around them with my little scissors. Find it easier to do it this way rather than trace around, cut the piece of paper, make it the right size, then glue it on. This way, I just glue it down and cut very closely around the outside. Good thing I'm wearing my reading glasses and I can see what I'm doing. One of the good things? Changes that I'm experiencing as I'm getting older. Another change in my life, and you may have noticed this if you've seen my name at the beginning or on YouTube, is that I've changed my surname. I've been separated now for almost 4 years, and I work at a school, and so I've been keeping my married name because my sons were at the same school with me, but they've recently graduated, and I've decided that it's time for me to revert back to my maiden name. So I'm in the process at the moment of changing that officially, but I'm beginning to make changes on the internet and around the place so that people get used to me being Helen Smit again. Anyway, back to the layout. I decided to add a little bit of water just to get the sprays to spread a bit easily or on the background. Did it work? I don't really know, but I did it anyway. You can see I've pulled out a Lindy Stamp Gang spray in cattail copper brown, one of my favourite colours, and then I pulled out a green and a yellow. They're a bit too bright, and it was about this stage that I thought, oh, am I really starting to ruin this background paper? I didn't know if I really liked it, but I thought, no, persevere. I pulled out a different green. You can see it's reacted on the yellow. I mean, it's got lots of shimmer in it. It looks pretty. These are some of the other die cuts, the leaves that I cut out earlier. And originally I was only going to use the 3 that were joined together, but I was struggling trying to work out how to embellish the page. So I pulled these ones back out, gave them some more colourings. You can see here I used some magicals from Lindy's and mixed it with some water to paint it on. Those really fine loopy ones in the centre broke with the painting, but I still stuck them down. You can see after they dried, I also backed them with some patterned paper and decided not to show you that part. You've already seen me do it earlier. It's exactly the same process. I pulled out some fun foam to go behind the photo, and I spent time pulling out the bits out of that die cut square label card, and I didn't end up using it. I decided that that lighter green colour really didn't work with the colours I already had down, and I didn't want to add that extra colour. I went and got some threads out, some gold thread or yellow thread, mustardy coloured, and added that in about 4 places, and then had the tricky idea of trying to stick it all down. Good thing I'm using some strong glue, the tacky glue from Scotch, which has nearly run out, but that helps get it down. Here I go. I'm not going to bore you and show you every leaf that I'm going to stick down. Holding it a few seconds just gives it that time to bond, but you get the idea, hopefully. Just positioning it once again. So as you can see, as it's coming together, if you can remember the Mari Clark layout from the beginning, it's not really looking anything like it at all. But that's the good thing about scrap lifting someone else's. You can do it exactly the same and follow theirs and recreate their layout altogether, or just get the inspiration from it. And it was the die cut leaves that got me going, and this is what's happened from it. Here you can see I have the little stamp set that came with Turn the Page, and I'm just using the little leaves and some different archival ink colours, and I'm sprinkling them down from the left to the right hand on the diagonal to bring your eye through the page, and a few around the die cut leaves. You can also see I've glued down that yellow flower scalloped circle and this chipboard piece from the Turn the Page collection as well. I really liked that saying, and I pulled out a couple of the other die cuts just to add just a little bit extra to it. Wasn't overly embellished because those die cut leaves actually do make quite a statement. I decided to use some double-sided tape to stick down the 12 by 12 mat, and then what you didn't see, and I forgot to really highlight it too, was I took it to my sewing machine and sewed around the edges just to finish it off. That's why I've only put the tape in the centre part, so that way when I go to sew it, there's no sewing through the double-sided tape and getting gunk on the needle. I mean, the sewing machine's only used for paper, but I don't want it to ruin it. And then I went through my stash and found these stickers. I want to say it was a Chamel range from a couple of years ago, but that's a bit of a guess. And here's just a little bit of journaling, just saying how it's one of my dreams to go to Perth, all the Perths in the world, and this was my first Perth not in Australia. And that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed it and found a bit of spark of inspiration yourself. Till next time, see you later. Thanks for watching.